Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, V here back with another exciting video. This one is titled, Can you pass Germany's toughest driving test? Let me know, how long did it take you, to learn how to drive as a German? Let me know. Hit me up in the comment section down below. Do like, share and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, obviously. And you can buy me a cup of coffee. The link to doing that is in the description down below. Let's get into this video and find out.
Getting your driving license in Germany. It's harder than you might think.
Really?
Germans are famous around the world for their cars, so it's really no surprise that they're also renowned as very disciplined drivers. How difficult is it to get your driving license in Germany? How expensive is it? How complicated is the whole process? What exactly makes Germans such disciplined road users? And what else do you need to know about getting your German driving license? Hop in, let's find out. There are several steps you need to take before you can even think about getting behind the wheel.
First, you need to pass an eye test. Then you must complete a first aid course so that you're prepared if you get into an accident.
Are you okay?
Once you've done those, it's time to enroll at a driving school. German law dictates that you must attend at least 21 hours of theory classes and have 12 practical special training drives.
What? In my country, I usually see people learning how to drive on the road. Like, basically what they tell you is sit on the chair. I don't know how true that is though. Maybe not what I don't know. I've not learned how to drive yet, but then I used to see people on the road, with the teacher and the driver, the teacher on the passenger seat and the driver on the driver's seat, the learner on the driver's seat learning how to drive practically, And I don't know if that's how it's done here. I don't know if they have theory classes. Well, I mean, is that not boring?
Thought you could get a friend or a family member to teach you? Wrong. It has to be a qualified instructor.
Brake, wheel.
That's a lot
Really?
of steps. I got my license in Scotland when I was 17 and I didn't need to take an eye test or do a first aid course. My dad gave me a lot of my lessons and I think I did maybe 10 official hours of lessons. So quite a big difference there. What's it like in your country?
Here are some facts and figures about Germany. It has the highest number of registered passenger cars in the EU, around 49 million, and ranks third in Europe for traffic injuries per million inhabitants, after Austria and San Marino. But Germany has one of the lowest road death rates, at 3.3 per 100,000 inhabitants, compared to 6.6 Europe-wide, 10.8 in the US, and 14.6 worldwide. And one of the lowest rates of drink driving deaths. South Africa and the US have the highest. Here in Germany,
You're allowed 0.5 milligrams per milliliter of blood unless you cause any trouble on the streets. That's around 2 small beers for the average man, but maybe just 1 for me. Although, to be honest, I wouldn't advocate drinking and driving either way.
okay, now we're ready to start driving. I'm heading to a lesson, but to get there, I need to get onto the German Autobahn, which is famous for having no speed limit.
Onto the Autobahn. Not gonna lie, this always makes me a little bit nervous.
Oh my god.
Driving Safety
this is-
Centre. Now it's time to start driving lessons. I'm meeting a certified driving instructor to get the lowdown on everything that these lessons entail.
Tada! So, kann's losgehen.
Ready?
Robert Fleming has been teaching Berliners to drive for 2 years. Berlin is a notoriously difficult city to learn how to drive in, so he seems like the best person to take me on a test drive.
So what does a block of driving lessons in Germany actually look like? What's the general idea?
Genau.
You have 12 hours of basic material, followed by 2 hours of class-specific material for Category B, the car driver's license. Then comes the theory test. After that, you can start your practical lessons straight away, and then the special training drives begin. Special training drives are for the highway, country roads, and night driving.
Leuchtungsfahrt, auch Nachtfahrt, im Volksmund genannt.
How expensive is it to learn how to drive in Germany?
I'm so
These
interested
days,
in
I
this
think
one.
you can or should expect to pay around 3,500 euros on average.
€100 annehmen.
Why? Because I want to learn how to drive. Then how much is the car that I want to buy to drive? 3,000 euros to learn how to drive? No, that's too much. That's fucking too much.
500 euros on average.
€100 annehmen.
Practical lessons typically run from 900 to 2,000 euros in total. Special trips, aka nighttime drives, cost an extra 400 to 800 euros, and the practical exam itself can cost up to 250 euros. With registration fees and theory lessons on top of that, Germany is one of the costliest countries in the world to learn to drive in. Norway and
Exactly.
Switzerland are considered the world's most expensive at around 4,000 euros, while countries like India, Thailand, and Russia are among the cheapest.
So do you think there's a reason why Germans are known for being such disciplined road users? Do you think the test is quite complicated?
Warum das so ist?
First of all, I believe that Germans like regulations.
Mag
They
Regularien,
like laws. They like to know how to behave.
wie sich zu verhalten hat.
And it's just so funny how they strictly adhere to these laws. I love them for that.
I think the other reason is that in Germany in particular, people have respect for other people's property. But even more than that, respect for their own property.
Aber vor allem noch viel, viel mehr vor dem eigenen Eigentum.
We're on the Autobahn again, so back to that no speed limit thing.
I am very aware of the fact that on certain parts of the Autobahn there is no speed limit. What's your thought on that?
Ja,
The
also
old
dieses
myth that there's no
uralte Märchen,
speed
dass es
limit
keine
in Germany
Geschwindigkeitsgrenze
comes up
gibt in
time and
Deutschland,
again.
dass es
Yet
immer
there
wieder
are
vorkommt.
speed limits in
Es gibt ja in
Germany.
Deutschland trotzdem
On the
die
parts of the highway where most people
auf
think
den
there's
Autobahnen,
none,
wo die
there is
meisten
still a
Menschen- da
recommended
ist
speed
offen,
limit,
da gibt es
and
keine
that is 130 kilometers per hour on German highways. You can drive
So
faster,
here-
it's technically permitted. You can drive 400 kilometers an hour for all I care, but you're taking on a huge responsibility for yourself as well as for the other road
Exactly.
users. And if you have an accident, you may no longer have any insurance coverage since you are driving faster than the law permits you to under the best possible
Du
conditions.
bist ja schneller gefahren, als der Gesetzgeber dir bei allerbesten Bedingungen erlaubt hat.
I think the city of Berlin does have a bit of a reputation for having quite a high fail rate, doesn't it?
Ja.
Yeah,
Also,
so in the theory exam, almost half fail the first
fast die
time.
Hälfte, die beim ersten Mal durchfällt.
Wow. Okay, admittedly, I did fail my theory the first time round.
Okay.
So somewhere between 40 and 50% fail on average in Germany.
Im bundesdeutschen Durchschnitt.
Very good. Already nodded our heads today. And in the practical, it's a good 30% of people
The pass or fail?
Die durchfallen
that fail on the
beim
first attempt.
ersten Versuch.
China,
It's okay to
Montenegro, Hungary, Japan, and Australia have the toughest test requirements. While Bangladesh, Belarus, Egypt, India, and Mexico are among the easiest, with minimal theory and practical experience.
Geschafft! Well, thank you so much for teaching me how to drive in Germany. And what's the verdict? Do you think I would have passed?
Ich würde sagen, du hast
I'd
gerade
say
so
you
bestanden.
passed, but just barely. There are
Es
2 or
gibt so
3
zwei,
little
drei
things you could pay more
Kleinigkeiten,
attention to in the
worauf du
future.
achten solltest. Hochschalten, links rum, rausfahren, aber macht nichts. Langsam, langsam, nicht zu nah an der Wand. Ruhig mal den Schulter weg, mit dem Schulter weg. Ansonsten
The rest, tip top.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. I really
Danke dir.
appreciate it. Dankeschön.
Gerne.
Okay, so you finally passed your test. Hooray! That means you don't need to worry anymore, right? Well, not quite. For 2 years, you're on probation. That means if you commit any violations during this time, you risk losing your license. Okay, you're now a fully qualified driver. Simple, kind of. So there are a lot of steps involved, but to be honest, it does make me feel safer driving on the roads here, knowing that everyone around me clearly had to be a very good driver in order to be able to pass their test.
Bearing in mind that other road users are, you know, careful, cautious, and yeah, like they are mindful of how they drive. Like it gives you a sense of belonging, like you are okay, you're comfortable, like you don't fear to die. If that makes any sense. I had fun watching this one. I would say that the cost of learning how to drive is really high, really, really high. Like, why am I paying 3,000 euros to learn how to drive? How much will it cost me to get a car, a vehicle? Oh, thank you so much for watching. Do like, share, subscribe to my channel. You can buy me a cup of coffee. The link to doing that is in the description down below. Check through my channel. I have amazing videos that you'd love to see. And when you're done, please do subscribe to my channel. See you at my next one. Danke.